Good morning and welcome into Monday, everybody. We are at a major turning point within the Twin Flame Collective. This coming week is going to carry with it a very fated, emotionally charged, and karmically activating frequency for the Twin Flame Collective. And we're going to talk about it because we are moving deeper into Pisces season themes, and these themes do include disillusion. There is a lot of truth surfacing, and we're going to have to feel this truth. We're going to have to go deep into our intuitive knowing, and we're at this moment in time where we are facing like a soul level reckoning while we are simultaneously standing at the threshold of a brand new Saturn cycle in Aries, okay? So this week, this is going to be a week where truth is going to rise from the subconscious. All of these old spiritual narratives are going to begin to collapse. And for the feminine energy, this is a week of reclamation. When it comes to these twin flame dynamics, we are collectively now being forced out of illusions and forced into embodied alignment. And so what can no longer be avoided is going to be felt deeply in the energies this week. Whatever has been suppressed is going to begin to speak to us, and what is not really aligned anymore with truth is going to begin to destabilize. Hi, my name is Laura. If you are new to the channel, welcome in. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button down below, like the video, comment on the video, share the video, especially if it resonates, because this is how you help the channel to grow. It lets me know you still like to see the content that I'm putting out there, and it's just a nice, free, easy way to support me and the channel, okay? So let's talk about these energies for the week ahead, because we have quite a few culminating aspects throughout the week that are going to be at play, and I want to break this down for you day by day, okay? What these transits mean specifically for the Twin Flame Collective, because I'm a Twin Flame coach, channeler, and guide. And so on Tuesday, Venus is going to be entering into Pisces, and we are also going to have Mercury in Pisces in a square to Lilith in Sagittarius. So Tuesday is a very powerful day for a heart awakening, for a truth confrontation coming forward. With Venus entering into Pisces, it feels like an opening. It feels like an opening of the heart to unconditional love, to compassion, forgiveness, right? There's a lot of soul remembrance being activated as Venus traverses through the sign of Pisces. And for the Twin Flame Collective, this can feel incredibly tender. There's this longing, there's this nostalgia for this spiritual connection being activated, and this deep desire for merging energetically, okay, for that soul merger. But on the same day, with Mercury in Pisces in a square to Lilith in Sagittarius, well, this is going to create friction. This is going to create verbal, mental tension, mental friction, maybe around truths. A belief system might be tested, and your spiritual authority for sure is going to be tested in that square aspect. And for the Twin Flames, this can really look like truth being spoken that was previously avoided. This is really going to highlight spiritual bypassing. That's really going to be challenged, I feel, where the masculine is going to have to confront a very uncomfortable emotional truth or reality, and where the feminine is going to be in this energy of refusing to stay silent, refusing to shrink yourself to stay small for other people. This truth is going to come through emotions, not really logically, because of the Piscean energy. And so if something is going to be feeling a little bit off that day, you're going to want to trust your intuition. It's probably warning you. And then on Wednesday, we go into the energy of the Sun in Aquarius sextile Chiron in Aries. So this is a conscious healing window being activated. The Sun in Aquarius shines a light. It brings awareness. If we're going to have to be objective, it's going to shine a light on this higher perspective, while Chiron in Aries is going to highlight that wound. And it's always going to be around identity in Aries, or our personal autonomy, where we need to honor self-trust more deeply. For the Twin Flames, this energy on Wednesday midweek is going to support healing an identity wound. likely tied to the connection. And then you're going to have to reclaim yourself outside of this connection and release that longing, because longing actually creates attachment. And so the feminine, I feel, midweek is healing the wound of overgiving, where we overgive just to have connection. And the masculine is going to have to heal that wound of self-abandonment midweek. And we can't fix each other, right? We can't fix the other on the journey. We do have to come home to ourselves. That is a big part of the journey. On Thursday, we have Mercury in Pisces in a conjunction to the North Node in Pisces. The North Node in Pisces is asking for surrender. So this is going to be a huge karmic communication portal. And with the conjunction between Mercury and the North Node, there's going to be like a destiny altering conversation. This could mean downloads. There could be a realization. There could be a deep inner truth really surfacing that you can't deny. There's going to be a message, and it could be coming through dreams. Really pay attention to the synchronicities as we work towards that culminating aspect, and really sit and listen in the silence, because this can really feel like a deep inner knowing. It's like the clicking of the puzzle pieces into place. There could be a realization about the true purpose of the connection on Thursday. This actually is a transit asking us to surrender mentally, so we can go towards the soul's path, so we can go forward. And it doesn't really need an external confirmation. This is saying you already have the truth. The truth is going to arrive. It's going to arrive inside the house, internally, okay? And this is where I'd like to invite you all to come on over and join in on my monthly astrology membership, okay? Because we've got some very significant energies that are guiding us forward this year. And the astrology membership that I offer is a space for those who are ready to consciously work with these energies, with astrology, rather than feeling like these energies are kind of working against you. It's a beautiful, soulful community where I teach 2 astrology lessons every month, and then the 3rd Wednesday of the month we do a live Q&A. So if you do feel called to join, the link will be down below in the comment section and in the description box. We move into Friday, which is the 13th. Friday the 13th is when Saturn is going to enter Aries, and this is a divine feminine activation day. Friday the 13th is going to be one of the most important days energetically this month. Maybe not the most, but one of the most. With Saturn entering into Aries, this is going to mark a new karmic cycle around our identity, our leadership, self-authority. We're entering into a new 29-year Saturnian cycle. We can't stand around and be idle or passive. This is the end of passivity with Saturn moving into Aries. We can't keep waiting, and we can't keep submitting spiritually on this twin flame journey. Saturn in Aries is going to demand responsibility for the self, and then we're going to have to embody that responsibility. And then there's another deep layer connected to Friday the 13th, because it does activate deep divine feminine codes. And historically, Friday the 13th is connected to the massacre of the Knights Templars. This is an event in the past that was tied to suppression of the sacred feminine energy, which is connected to the Magdalene lineage and that womb-based spiritual power. So Friday is actually a pivotal turning point for the Twin Flame Collective, because there's going to be a lot of activations for sure surrounding divine feminine power, divine feminine reclamation, where we collapse all of the distorted masculine authorities. We're going to stop idolizing spiritual gurus, spiritual saviors, or any external leaders, right? And then we have to return to that sovereignty within ourselves. And so this is not about chasing anything external. This is not about union through chasing. We have to achieve union through self-embodiment. And then we close off the week on Sunday with Venus in Pisces in a square now to Lilith in Sagittarius. So there's a lot of emotional truth being activated end of the week, where we're meeting this raw sense of authentic self. Venus in Pisces, it wants love. It wants to be soft. It wants union. It wants spiritual union. But Lilith in Sagittarius wants honesty. It wants freedom and the release of any self-betrayal tendencies. And so for the twin flames, this can manifest as emotional clarity around what is and what isn't aligned. There's like this refusal to romanticize what is not truthful. And so the feminine, I feel, is choosing self-respect over fantasy. And the masculine at the end of the week is going to be confronted. It feels like a confrontation with some type of emotional accountability near the end of the week there. And so as we close out the week, we're being asked, are we rooted in truth, or are we rooted in illusion? And so this is also where I'd like to invite you to check out the links below, because we're not forcing anything this week. This is a week about truth. This is a week about embodiment. This is a week about karmic realignment. And if you feel guided to go deeper with me to receive personal messages, personal insight, do feel free to check out the links below in the description box. I would love to work with you one-on-one, work with you with your chart, work with you on your twin flame journey. So you are invited to go visit the webpage to book in a personal reading. They are all still up there on the webpage. So let's get some cards out though. And let's see what the cards have to say for the energies today. Look at that sharing on the bottom of the deck. We're going to use these spiritual journey oracle cards. I haven't used these in a hot minute, but let's see what the spiritual journey has in store for the week ahead. The sharing card speaks of sharing knowledge. There could be a reach out. The masculine might be reaching out and sharing a lesson that they've learned, some wisdom that they've attained. This is also a message for you, Divine Feminine. We are here to share what we have learned on our awakening journey. We are here to share the knowledge, to share the wisdom that we have attained through this awakening experience. So really take that time this week to connect with your guides and your angels. They are guiding you. The archangels are always working with the twins, guiding the twins on this journey towards union. But I think this is going to be a week of messages. Get ready to receive an important message. It might be coming to you that you might not expect it. There could be a text message, an email. It could just be a download. Really take that time to listen and to go within this week to receive the guidance from your angels, from your guides, from your higher self, and maybe even open up the pathway for some type of communication. But let's get these cards out. And I want you to remember, tarot is about guidance. The cards aren't here to tell you what to do. I certainly cannot tell you what to do. All readings serve as an opportunity to guide you in the right direction so you can fully step into your power. If something is triggering you, I do encourage you to click off the reading. This is about growth. This is about enlightenment, okay? So symptoms, there we have those very uncomfortable ascension symptoms coming through this week. Divine timing. I do feel that divine timing card is connected to later in the week when we have that Saturn shift at play. Let's get a couple more cards out here. Had the deck upside down. Something might feel like it's getting turned upside down this week. We got the guidance from Spirit coming through. So I feel collectively we are in a very tough energy, a tough cycle closing out. With Saturn at that 29th anaretic degree, we are like dealing with a lot of karma this week. And so self-care is really going to be needed. Whether you resonate as a feminine or a masculine on the journey, we all do have to care for and nurture our earthly body. So evaluating choices. Evaluating choices. So naturally Pisces rules the 12th house, but the 6th house is connected to care and self-care and choices and our routines and our health. So take a deep look at your 6th house. See if there's any transiting planets moving through the 6th house. There might be some deeper guidance there when it comes to things you want to watch out for that have become an unhealthy habit. Take a look at the 6th house. I think there is a tough situation connected to your day-to-day life, connected to the 6th house. So note the emotional, physical, and mental symptoms that you are going through, right? What's creating a negative or a positive impact in your life, and trust in divine timing, because Spirit knows the work that you've done already, and now it's time to level up. So get ready. Open up the channels of communication to Spirit so you can receive that guidance. All you have to do is ask. and surround yourself in a healing bubble. Protect your light, protect your energy. You can imagine this healing light all around you. Envelope yourself in a healing bubble of love, compassion, and protection this week. As all of these darker energies are kind of surfacing, there's a lot of collective exposure right now. And we do have to protect ourselves from being dragged into those lower energies. And then we get the telepathy card and self-actualization. So there is a lot of telepathic connection, especially with Mercury moving into Pisces and all of these aspects. There's a lot of spiritual transmission of thoughts and emotions between the counterparts this week in order for that self-actualization. So really be mindful of who takes advantage of you as well, because there's like this Ace of Wands quality coming through this week. There's like a spark, there's an ignition, especially as Saturn moves into Aries on Friday this week. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We get the Judgment card and the Four of Cups. Collectively, this is a massive spiritual awakening pivot point. And we get the Pluto energy. So Pluto is transiting in Aquarius. It's going to be there for about the next 20 years. Also look to the house where Pluto is transiting through, because this is like soul level recall going on here. We see the third eye activation. This is seeing things clearly. This is, it feels like fragmented pieces of the soul returning to self. And we're getting ourselves unstuck. We see the Four of Cups, and we see is connected to the Cancer moon, to the moon in Cancer. Don't really have anything too much going on with the Cancer transits. We do have Jupiter still transiting through Cancer, but this is looking at a brand new beginning. There is an Ace of Cups beginning here, but we do have to rise above what keeps us distracted. What keeps us distracted on the journey? And there's that wake-up call, right? So it's kind of this energy. It feels like Judgment Day. Yep, and really sitting with some type of misaligned truth, a mistruth with that Ace of Swords in reverse. What is keeping you stuck? What is keeping you stagnant? Your soul depressed, your soul repressed? Because the first card out the gate is that Five of Wands. So there is a struggle here. There's a struggle. There is a need for a realignment. This could be the masculine. We do see like 1, 2, 4 masculines struggling on a Five of Wands card. Actually, I've never actually counted the men, but we see 4 masculines on a Five of Wands card. There's a masculine. The masculine collective overall is struggling, especially with the Saturn at 29 degrees. Saturn and Pisces at 29 degrees. We get Leo energy. And the Queen of Coins, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I feel there's a feminine really watching this collective script being flipped upside down. And it's very visibly apparent, the struggle within the masculine collective. I feel a lot of ego-based energy coming through today with that Five of Wands and the Death. So the masculine collective is struggling with surrender, is struggling with the death energy. We are still in the year of the snake, and so we haven't quite completed that transformation. But there is the release of the burden with the Ten of Wands in reverse. And so I feel the last couple of years with Saturn transiting through Pisces has been a struggle for the masculine, and coming out of that illusion, coming out of the matrix, coming out of the disillusionment process. There is that like coming to Jesus moment, releasing some type of fantasy or illusion. Let's get the last 2 cards out. And we got some reversals today. And coming out of that deep introspection, coming out of a period of re-identification of self. That's also connected to the South Node transiting through Virgo. And we will have the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius on the 17th, the same day that the fire horse gets activated, the same day we have Venus conjunct the North Node. I believe it's Venus conjunct the North Node. Ultimate surrender, truth's coming to light. There's the Truth card, Aquarian energy. So there's some type of truth getting ready to come to light around that eclipse energy. And then we will go into the full moon eclipse in Virgo I believe it's the 3rd of March. So we're not quite out of the woods yet, but victory is there. There is victory below the surface. There's massive heart expansion happening in the energies this week connected to these misaligned connections, these karmic connections. There's victory over these trauma-bonded soul unions that have kept the counterparts from coming together spiritually and merging. And so I feel over the course of the next 3 weeks, approximately the course of the next 3 weeks to 3 months, we are breaking these chains with these toxic soul contracts for the twins to be able to have union. So this is releasing connections that aren't rooted in equanimity, equality, equal giving and receiving, reciprocity. And there's victory here. There is victory here, but the challenge is to release the burden. The challenge is to go deep into the wounding, because before the 10, we have the 9, is to go deep into the wounding. We see that Sagittarius energy, there's some type of karma at play with all of these square aspects this week between Pisces and Sagittarius, the Pisces energy to the Lilith and Sagittarius, which is bringing, I feel, an ending. There's an ending coming full circle. And there could have been confusion for about the last 7 months for a masculine that's coming through in some type of an illusion of some sort, a false sense of security, where everything might really look good on social media. But behind the scenes, there's been a lot of self-reflection. And there's that truth coming to light. We can't deny that truth coming to light. And so right now, this is a week of truth surfacing in order for that heart healing to take place. And so meditation, there's meditation that is needed, going within, gaining that new perspective about legacy, walking through that doorway to that legacy, right? And so we're completing massive cycles. We're coming out of the dark. We're getting ready to make a decision, but we do have to evaluate where we self-sabotage, right? And so after the healing comes the truth of where we betray, where we self-abandon, where we sabotage connections, due to our own unhealed wounds. And how are we going to fix that? We're going to pour love into that wound, right? We can't unsee what's been shown to us. We can't unsee the patterns. We have to get really honest about the patterns coming through. And then we have to use our discernment to cut those cords, right? So I would like to look at the struggle here with the 5 of Wands, because we can clearly see a struggle happening. And it feels like the masculine is at war with himself. And this is a struggle connected to a missed opportunity in the past. A missed opportunity where I feel they did not open their heart. They did not let their guard down. And then we get that ego death. So the masculine collective is going through a massive ego death, a massive tower. It's that fall from grace, healing from any narcissistic tendencies. And there's like a collapsing of an old belief system here. And this is divine timing. This is divine timing, a recognition of where maybe they self-betrayed, self-abandoned. And then let's take a look at the feminine here, because the feminine appears to be grounded. She's stable. She's solid. She's in her worth. She's in her strength. It's like she's holding down the fort here and about to give birth to a brand new cycle. So the feminine is getting rooted in her sovereignty. She's getting rooted in her autonomy, her self-authority. And the feminine is ready. She's waiting. She's waiting for that offer. She's planting the seed. She's loyal to herself. She's dedicated to the path. And she's done the healing work connected to self-abandonment and her own wounding. She's no longer waiting. There's no more waiting for the feminine. So where are we going with this truth coming to light? Where is this taking the collective this week? Right towards a brand new beginning. So the passion is there. The passion is being reignited. And there's anger. I do feel there's anger as this truth comes to light, because the masculine is realizing how much the feminine has built on her own while he's been stuck in his ego, blocking communication and blocking an apology. Really sitting with the lies that he has told himself, choosing logic over heart, and the avoidance of that heartbreak. There could be a return, a very quick, swift change in movement, and a very unexpected return. And I feel there's fear, because the masculine has blocked his heart for quite some time. That's really what that is feeling like today. So let's get an advice card on this one, because I clearly see a masculine struggling with going back, but seeing clearly who the divine feminine is and feeling that separation. So we get bust out of your cocoon and raise your vibration. As the feminine raises her vibration and she busts out of that cocoon, it's like the transformation, the butterfly getting ready to bloom. This is triggering the flipping of the script within the Divine Masculine Collective. So what is the closing message today for the week ahead? Express your joy. Divine Feminine, lead into what creates joy. Accept what is dying. Look at that on the bottom of the deck. Accept what is dying. The masculine needs to get to a place of acceptance. There is a cycle in the masculine's life that is dying, that is done, but hasn't fully completed, hasn't fully reached completion. And it might not reach full completion until Jupiter stations direct. Jupiter's still retrograde, I believe. Jupiter's still retrograde. So right now, Divine Feminine, keep expressing your joy. Keep embracing your power. Keep loving yourself, because you are that guiding light to show others how to love yourself. And let's face it, be patient, right? It takes time to birth a baby. It takes time to plant a seed and to watch it grow. The feminine is getting ready to enter a new 7-year cycle. Keep shining your light. Live your soul's purpose, not a role that the collective tells you to live in. But the masculine, I feel, is in a dying cycle, and there's a need for acceptance to bring that to completion. That's what I have for the week ahead. Let me know down below if this resonated. Book a session in if you are a little bit curious about your journey, and head on over to the membership, and I will see you all in the next one.